These are the Amazing World of Gumball's most disturbing episodes that'll make you question what Cartoon Network was thinking. The third one literally has a character drinking garbage water, and honestly, that's just the beginning of this nightmare fuel. Number 4, The Ghost. This episode starts off innocent enough. Gumball and Darwin are at lunch with Carrie, the ghost, just casually eating their food, but Carrie is watching them chow down and getting jealous because you know what? She's dead and she can't taste anything. Classic ghost problems, right? Darwin, being the wholesome fish he is, suggests she could just use Gumball's body to eat. And bro, this is where things get weird fast. Before Gumball can even process what's happening, Carrie straight up possesses him and starts going absolutely feral on that cafeteria food. But here's where things get really nasty. She doesn't stop there. The ghost goes on a complete junk food rampage, eating literally everything she can find. We're talking about a supernatural binge-eating spree that will make competitive eaters nervous. The next morning, Gumball wakes up under a literal pile of food waste, looking like he got hit by a garbage truck. And the worst part? He's so bloated, he looks like he swallowed a beach ball. Richard sees him and starts laughing about his muffin top until he realizes he's got one too and runs away crying. It's funny but also deeply disturbing because this kid just got body snatched by a hungry ghost who used his stomach like a disposal unit. Things get even grosser when Darwin tries to help by making the most disgusting drink imaginable. Fishbowl water mixed with Tobias's headband sweat. Oh, Miss Simeon's dandruff. Gumball's 15-day-old underwear. Yuck. And Darwin's fish bleach. Bro, just reading that ingredient list makes me want to go throw up. This concoction looks like it came from a sewage treatment plant, and somehow they think this is gonna solve their ghost problem. But the plot twist here, Carrie loves it. The smell that makes everyone else literally shut down and die just makes her hungrier. Students are fainting left and right, but she's here over like, essence of unwashed underwear's my favorite. The episode keeps escalating with more possession scenes where Gumball gets fatter and fatter until he's literally rolling like a human bowling ball. But the absolute worst moment comes when Carrie takes control one last time and starts eating actual garbage. We're talking about drinking mystery liquid leaking from a dumpster. This ghost is so desperate for food that she's basically turned Gumball into a human garbage disposal. And watching him drink dumpster juice is genuinely one of the most disturbing things I've seen in a kid's show. The visual of him sipping that brown liquid while having zero control over his body is nightmare fuel. And the fact that he can feel everything happening but can't stop it? That's psychological horror disguised as a cartoon about a ghost who just wants to eat. Number 3, The Night. Now, this episode is straight up fever dream territory. It starts with the moon literally talking to us, which should have been our first red flag that we were about to witness some psychological warfare disguised as bedtime stories. The episode takes us through everyone's dreams, and some of them are completely unhinged. We got Banana Joe splitting himself in half, with one half having 2 faces and the other having 2 butts, and they're chasing each other around. Like, what kind of existential crisis is this banana having that he's dreaming about his own rear end hunting him down? But the real nightmare fuel comes from Anais' dreams. Except plot twist, it's not actually her dream. We think we're watching Anais having a nightmare where her stuffed donkey Daisy comes to life, but then Daisy breaks the 4th wall and reveals she is the one dreaming, and she's been sadistically torturing Anais the whole time. The way she smiles at the camera while explaining how she's been psychologically tormenting a toddler is genuinely disturbing. Then there is Susie's dream, which completely breaks reality. The episode reveals that Susie is actually just a Jennifer voice actress, and she has an existential breakdown thinking she's a monster. Watching a cartoon character realize they're not real and flee in terror is kind of the meta horror that hits differently. But the absolute worst part is Alan's dream. They don't just show us what he's dreaming about, but we can hear those horrible, disturbing sounds while he's just humming peacefully in his sleep. The contrast between his happy humming and these nightmare sounds is so unsettling. Like, what kind of twisted stuff is going on in that balloon's head? That sounds like a horror movie, but makes him happy. The episode ends with everyone waking up to the alarm clocks, but the damage is done. We've basically watched a bunch of kids having psychological breakdowns in their sleep, and somehow this aired on Cartoon Network during daytime hours. But before we get to the absolute worst one, let's talk about some episodes that deserve recognition for their own brand of gross-out horror. Number 2, The Laziest. It starts innocently enough. Nicole heads off to work and tells Richard to do some chores. He agrees, but the second she's gone, he collapses onto the couch like a slug, immediately starts whining. Typical, right? But things take a dark turn fast. Richard tricks Gumball and Darwin into doing his chores by pretending it's a fun game. They fall for it, get angry, and call him out. His response: laziness is a medical condition. That's when the real nightmare begins. He proposes a challenge. If the boys can find someone lazier than him, he'll do the chores. If not, they're enslaved to his laziness forever. This one sets the most unhinged contest in the cartoon history. Gumball and Darwin try to mimic him, but the sugar overload sends them into a frenzied spiral. Then they go full manipulator mode and ruin Lazy Larry's entire life just to turn him back into the slob he used to be. And it works. But when it's time to prove Larry's laziness, he doesn't even show up because he's too lazy, and Richard wins. And when Nicole comes, Richard fakes exhaustion to make it look like he did everything. Nicole believes him. The boys are punished, and Richard, grinning like a war criminal, sinks into the couch like a triumphant monster. This isn't just lazy, this is evil. Number 1, The Girlfriend. But the nastiest, most disturbing episode has to be The Girlfriend. It starts with Jamie storming into the cafeteria like a tornado. Everyone thinks she wants food, but when she steals Carmen's lunch, we realize this isn't about hunger, it's about power. Then the school bus literally explodes, and Jamie decides this is the perfect romantic atmosphere to claim Darwin as her boyfriend. Seeing her smile sweetly at Darwin while surrounded by destruction is genuinely terrifying. This is where it gets psychologically disturbing. Jamie starts acting like an abusive partner. She shoves Gumball into his locker and threatens Darwin with serious consequences. If he ignores her or tries to break up, suddenly this isn't comedy anymore. It's a cartoon showing domestic abuse tactics. Later, Jamie gives Darwin a gift, but it's actually for herself. She opens it, finds perfume, assumes Darwin is calling her smelly, and goes into a rage, attacking Gumball's locker while Darwin stands there frozen in fear. Watching her flip from calm to violent in seconds is disturbing. Then Gumball emerges from the locker literally broken into pieces with black eyes. The show casually shows someone getting beaten up and plays it for laughs. It gets worse when Jamie starts force-feeding Darwin Gumball's food. The power dynamics is so messed up. She controls what he eats, and while he sits there looking miserable. When Darwin tries to make himself look ugly to get out of the relationship, it doesn't work because he's cursed to look cute. The show is basically saying that he can't escape the abuse because he's too adorable. The worst moment comes when Jamie makes Gumball contort himself into a bench so she can sit on him. We watch a child twist his body into furniture for his brother's abusive girlfriend while clearly in pain. Then Sarah innocently says hi to Darwin, and Jamie immediately accuses him of cheating. She goes into a gorilla-like rage, throws a trash can at Sarah, and chases her around the playground while making animalistic sounds. Watching her hunt down Sarah in blind, jealously is terrifying. In the gym, Jamie lifts an entire treadmill, proving she could easily hurt anyone. When Richard tries to introduce himself, she thinks he doesn't support her relationship and assaults him with a gym equipment. The show shows us Richard walking away with his head completely deformed, and we're supposed to laugh. Finally, the resolution is the almost disturbing part. Jamie realizes love can be forced, but when Darwin repeats her epiphany back to her, she thinks he's calling her stupid and punches him straight in the face. The episode ends with Darwin in the infirmary, bruised and beaten, and the show acts like it's just a funny misunderstanding. The entire episode is a horrifying deception of abusive relationships, physical violence, jealousy, and power imbalance, all presented as comedy for kids. That's what makes The Girlfriend the nastiest and most disturbing episode in Gumball history. Did this episode go too far, or do you think Gumball was always this nasty? Comment below with your thoughts, like and share this video, and if you're wondering what happened to every show that copied Family Guy, well, check out our last video and subscribe for more.